yes, it is very, very cheap for you to price yourself, for you to be with somebody. There isn't any love in that. Why? Those days where, a woman will be picked, not on the basis of love, but in a constant persuasion of whoever the man might be, persuading the family or the woman through money or through any other means, sort of will end up, be able to win the woman to himself. Was the reason why it ended up that they have to put a price. The woman begin to put price on herself, or parents begin to put price on their daughters. Because deep down, I mean, if these things didn't happen, it wouldn't have been the case for us now. Because truly, if you love somebody, if you two are in love, you wouldn't even consider the idea of charging or wanting. The woman wouldn't want to take anything of that nature from the boy. Neither would the boy want anything taken, but usually it's a woman who has to put a price on herself. I mean, olden days, they take a woman and give it to a man. A woman didn't have much of a choice. Just if some people, it was much serious that women were being picked and given out to men. So in that sense, if you want the daughter picking to you and it's not based on necessarily on love, the process of working to achieve that love, it requires fee, it requires continuous means to please that woman. So then it was something that it became, normal, to be seen as normal. But if love is really taking its tone at the moment, then I don't think that women will lose their sense of pride and their dignity, of what their true feelings might be and who they would want to be with. I don't want to be with just anybody, despite everything. I'm a man. I love everybody. In fact, I would wish to have a Jewish girlfriend, a British girlfriend, American girlfriend, an Australian girlfriend, an Indian girlfriend, an Asian girlfriend, just to really know what really they also are, to have that experience, to see how great we could be a match together, Of course, not in the sense that she wouldn't be what I want, because I'm also a human being who have got taste and I've got an eyesight of my own, and I wouldn't want to just be with anything or anyone, because I consider beauty as a main factor of being with people. Now, when I say beauty, I mean there are two ways of beauty: the inner beauty and the outer beauty. They all matter, but a woman should possess any of these to sort of get the qualities of which is due her. And also the other one out of beauty is a woman shouldn't be scented, shouldn't have scent. If a woman has got so much scent on her, that is a bad scent on her, most men normally would complain or have issues, or wouldn't probably say anything, but men will probably, walk away from you without you knowing the reason why they did that. Because it doesn't matter to sort of, a woman should really have a very good scent on her. It's just something that naturally, proves a woman's worthiness and her beauty as well. She may not be outwardly, outwardly beautiful, but innerly very beautiful from inside. Inside beauty, I'm referring to your mannerism, the character, the idea of not being so sarcastic in ways which, might provoke anything which is bad. If we say sexy, and my woman is sexy on the base of a good mannerism, so that is one inner beauty. If you say the outer beauty, it is something that you can see instantly. You can see instantly. A woman could possess that easily. And not everybody have that. But others, you can always have any of them. But the other inner beauty is something which you probably might not have, but you can always develop it. You can develop it. And if you develop it, it's good for you. You can really establish yourself and, be loved, easily. Now, I look at these things very carefully. Nobody want to be with a monster, just as you don't want to be with a man who is terrible. So I also don't want to be the woman who is terrible. But a man, I don't think men need to be handsome necessarily to be with a woman. As long as you can please that woman, sexually, emotionally, and somehow make yourself available. Your availability does count. And the responsibility that counts sometimes, obviously. So basically, as long as a man has that qualities, it doesn't really matter very much to my view of his handsomeness or anything of that nature. But woman, it does matter. Beauty does matter. And I've shown the two sides of the beauty. Those things are very matter, and the scent of a woman is also very much important. Must be very pleasant, or she must smell very pleasant, in every way. Not necessarily being perfumed, but natural pleasant. Despite that, you might put a perfume on. Even if you don't have a perfume, a woman should always be very, should have a natural looking scent which will be appealing to a man in every way, because not everybody can afford a perfume. There are some religious groups that, through their culture or religious means, they have to cover their whole body. We know of women scientifically are the type that generates heat easily. The heat comes out of their body more than what comes out of a man in so many sense. So if the scientific viewpoint is right, then it won't require for a woman to sort of get all herself tied up so much that she and heat can easily generate scent on a woman easily. So it does matter. I just hope that people will move from these religious, cultural, and sentimental ideas that they have from themselves, and really move to more naturalistic and realistic view of things and way of life, which will be very good, and will be very, very nice actually, because to my way of seeing it, there are obviously not just me saying, you can see clearly, it doesn't mean that women should go off naked or anything, but no, you must have the breeze all over you most time. You must feel the breeze that will, because they naturally have that, that body nature which is also it's beautiful. So as I also pinch it in that the figure of a woman is very a factor also. You don't have to let it all, but sometimes a woman can be very fat looking, but innerly the beauty of her, as I said, if she has an inner beauty, she has a great chance of being with people. So that is one factor. Now, if we've touched on death, we've touched on beauty, we've touched on all these things, and I see these things as one key thing that it touches my heart, that addressing it will be good. Now I don't know who goes along with me, but it is a fact of life. There are issues regarding, let's say, the current state of life, which most people will find themselves, not being able to sort of embrace life in a more pleasing way, only because they probably don't have the funds to do that, or they probably see themselves alienated and all that. I wouldn't think that should be necessary, but all depends on how we decide to change our way of doing things, how we decide to approach life, how we decide to look at each other, the viewpoint. I'm not just there to sort of fall for an African just because I'm a black nature, or fall for a black woman because I'm a black natured person. Not necessarily. I would like to know the others too, and I hope they also want to know me, because it's the same way that it goes hand in hand. You that at the opposite end should view me the way that in somehow you also truly want to be with me. I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with me, and I don't think that the view of mine is different from that person also who don't want to be with me, that will not want to be with me if he or she doesn't want to be with me. Now, to be very honest, she rather, not he. I'm not in that side of inviting he's to be in relationship with me in terms of what do you call it, let's say sex or anything of that nature. That is not the idea at all, because it isn't see as normal, the normal thing to